So I just watched the Odyssey in IMAX 70mm. This film floored me, man. This film is incredible. Well, let me explain how I felt when this film ended.
What's good, people? It's 4:30 in the morning. I'm up, I'm on go because I got to travel from Bristol to London because today I'm watching the Odyssey in 70mm IMAX twice. Step with me. So I just touched down in London, got less than an hour until the screening. I need to like replenish myself, man, because I only got like 4 hours sleep on the way here, or before the way here last night. So I need to, I'm just running off adrenaline and hype right now. I've been listening to Ronson's scores in the lead up to this to just psych me up. I just need some food and some drink. Probably get an energy drink, probably get banana, just to get some energy in me. And yeah, as I head to the cinema, and my thoughts, like right now, like I'm been waiting a long time for this film. I said when Gladiator was released that we needed more swords and sandal films coming out, and I'm just glad we finally got one, and it's coming from Nolan. So I just got off the tube station, got my food, got my banana to replenish my energy, and I'm on my way to the BFI IMAX right now. Now, for those of you that don't know, the BFI IMAX is essentially the biggest IMAX screen in the UK. At one point, it was the biggest IMAX screen in Europe as well. I think it's been surpassed now, but essentially, if you want to watch a film in the best way possible, especially an IMAX release, it's the BFI IMAX is where you want to be. I've been there countless times. It's my favorite cinema in the country, and of course there was no other place I was going to be to watch Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, which was the first film fully filmed in 70mm IMAX. This is going to be crazy. There's a few films I've seen in the past, like Dune 2, Sinners last year, a couple films I've seen in 70mm IMAX, and whenever the scale of the screen goes to that full aspect ratio, it like takes your breath away. So I can't even begin to imagine what it's going to be like watching this film the whole 3 hours in that format. It's going to be crazy. And like I said, I've seen like over 50 films in IMAX, and I already know this is going to be one of like the all-time IMAX experiences. I just can't wait. And yeah, I mean, my screening starts in about 30 minutes. I'm gonna head in now, and I won't be able to bring this camera in, but I'm gonna switch to my phone camera to just capture some footage inside of the cinema and the atmosphere and all that.
So I just watched the Odyssey in IMAX 70mm for the first time. I'll be watching it for the second time tonight. And the film ended about 2 hours ago. Actually, I had a nice conversation with these guys from Austria who came to watch the movie. I was talking to them for about an hour. But let me get into the film. This film floored me, man. This film is incredible. Well, let me explain how I felt when this film ended. When this film ended, I exhaled, and I didn't realize I was inhaling, but I exhaled a big exhale when the credits rolled, and tears were welling up in my eyes, and I felt overwhelmed with emotion. And that's how the Odyssey left me. It was an incredible experience. I think we are just incredibly lucky to be living at the same time as Christopher Nolan and to witness him in his prime in real time. It reminds me of filmmakers like Stanley Kubrick, filmmakers I admire from previous decades, who I always say, you know, I wonder what it felt like to witness them in their prime. I wonder what it felt like to witness them release their most decorated films in real time. Christopher Nolan is that for us right now, and I do not take it for granted. And The Odyssey is a remarkable achievement of filmmaking on so many levels that it's hard to surmise it so quickly and to do it in a short way, because every technical facet of this film is incredible. The performances are incredible. And the way in which he adapts The Odyssey and is able to examine this centuries-old poem and connect it to our times now thematically through the eyes of Odysseus and his journey and what he goes through and how he reckons with his actions and what becomes of his actions is something truly special. And all I can say for now as a reaction, and I will elaborate this on a review later on, is just that this film is incredible, and the level of emotion I felt and the level of this film overwhelmed me. And I've not even spoken about the IMAX format, actually. In 70mm IMAX, I mean, that's just truly phenomenal. A phenomenal experience, immersive experience. And, I mean, there's no one like Christopher Nolan, man. No one like Christopher Nolan. I'm going to go see the film. I got a few hours to kill. Going to go get some food to eat because I'm heading to the Science Museum next to check out the film in 70mm IMAX again, which I can't wait. I can't wait because that first experience just floored me, and I got a bit of time, about 4 hours, to process it before experiencing it again in 70mm IMAX. I mean, The Odyssey, man, what can I say? Incredible film. I also just wanted to touch on the set pieces, actually, before I move on with my day. There's so many, if you've read The Odyssey, which I have in the past few weeks, there's so many iconic set pieces which make this journey of Odysseus, but also just the story as a whole, so iconic and so memorable. And you've got Nolan tackling these sequences, some of the most iconic sequences in literature. And the way he does it is the level of craft on display from the standpoint of every department on the film, from the costumes to the practical effects to I was going to say the sets, but it's not really sets, it's real world locations. And just the craft and the direction in terms of how he executes these different sequences, it's exhilarating beyond belief. And there's an array of set pieces in this film which are tremendous in terms of how they're executed and the experience that it creates in 70mm IMAX. One that springs to mind immediately and is stuck within my mind from the moment it happened in the film is the Lastragarians, the giants. There's an element at play in this sequence with the giants that just spun me. It completely spun me. You've got the giants on screen. Apologies for the music if you can hear that from the car speaker. You've got an element at play with the giants and how they're portrayed on screen with the practicality of it, which is impressive as it is. But there's another element I won't spoil in this sequence that just completely spun my head, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and it amplified the experience of the scene and made it highly memorable. Another scene, the film is incredible throughout, but the film really reaches another level when you experience the set piece with Circe and what's done there from a practical standpoint, from a horror standpoint. And from that moment on, I felt like the film just went up a level. And that scene was outstanding. And the performance from Samantha Morton was outstanding. And then tailing on the end of that is the sequence in Hades, which is equally stunning. And it's a very haunting sequence. It's a sequence that is spiritual. It's dark. It's thematically dark, but very, very, yeah, it's just haunting. And it really stuck with me. And I think that was the part where the film really just went up to a whole new gear. And then leading into the third act, it was just an incredible finish for this film. Christopher Nolan is exceptionally great at delivering third acts that give you this, what I like to describe as an emotional catharsis, where a lot of the themes and elements of his films come to a conclusion that really feels wholly satisfying. And The Odyssey is yet another Christopher Nolan film where he aces that And the third act of this film is just fantastic beyond belief. So I've just taken a stroll through Hyde Park on my way to the National Science Museum. I've never been there before, but that's where I'm heading for my second screening of the Odyssey. I just met up with my friend Zeb, had some food and a drink, and been making my way, just strolling through London. It's a sunny day, you know. Sometimes I'll take the tube, but when it's a sunny day like this and the weather's good, I like to walk. I like to take a stroll. I love walking anyway, and there's so many walkable areas in London. And of course, you know, coming through Hyde Park in the summer is always lovely, as you can see behind me here. Yeah, real nice. So yeah, I'm about 10-minute walk away from the Science Museum. Like I said, I've never actually been there before, and they do have an IMAX screen, which is capable of 70 millimeter film projection. So that's why they're also screening the Odyssey here. As with the BFI IMAX, it's pretty much sold out for weeks on end at the Science Museum and the BFI IMAX. The Odyssey, the demand for 70 millimeter. We had this with Oppenheimer. It was the same for Oppenheimer, and I suspected it would be the same, if not even more demand for the Odyssey, and it seems to be the case. Yeah, so I'm intrigued to see what this cinema looks like I said, because I've never been there before. Apparently, I've heard the screen is pretty big, so it's not as big as the BFI IMAX, but it's close, I've heard, which is surprising because I didn't think it would be anywhere near the BFI IMAX. And what are my thoughts on the Odyssey? You know, after a few hours have passed since watching the film, my appreciation for the film just continues to grow. My appreciation for the themes and how they're executed, for certain individual sequences and what I like about it. And already there's a number of sequences that I'm excited to watch again. I've been thinking about the scene with the last Drogarians quite a lot, and I think I said that earlier, but there's an element in that scene that just really spun me and threw me through a loop. And there's other scenes I'm interested to see again. And yeah, I'm really excited to be able to digest this film so quickly, twice, in 70 millimeter IMAX, which is a rarity because I'm grateful because not a lot of people get the opportunity to be near a 70 millimeter IMAX cinema to be able to watch the film in this format, but I am fortunate enough that I can come down to London to do that, and to watch it in 70 millimeter IMAX twice in one day is something I'll always remember. And yeah, I think to be able to soak up the film for the first time twice in one day in this format is something I'm really excited about and happy that I've been able to do. So as I get closer, I realize I actually have been to this science museum before because it's an extension of the Natural History Museum, which I think it was last summer I came here. So, and I specifically went into the science part of the museum as well. So I have actually been here before. I didn't realize this was the official science museum, and I didn't realize they had an IMAX screen within this part of it. So I've been here before, but I guess I'll be going to a new section of it to access the IMAX part of it. One other thing I wanted to say is I've been listening to Ludwig's score for the past few hours as I've been walking around London, and the compositions in this score are special. At times they're quite understated, and I think I found during the film sometimes they got a bit overpowered or underpowered in the mix, and the sound design took over the soundscape and pulled the score to the back of the mix a few times. But I didn't really see an issue with that. I just noticed that. It's just an observation. But then listen to the scores in isolation for the past few hours. I think there's a variety of distinct soundscapes he crafts for certain locations and certain characters and circumstances in the film, which I think suit it very well. And yeah, I think is a great score from Ludwig, which displays his versatility as a composer. And I think, even at his young age, and his career is still young, he's only been doing this to this big capacity for the past 10, 11 years. I think his first main motion picture score was Creed. And in that time, he's already established himself as one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. And this score here just continues to seal that idea in my mind. It's a very good score. So I just finished watching the Odyssey in 70mm IMAX for the second time, and I can comfortably label this film a masterpiece now. It's even better on the second viewing, and one thing that stood out to me immediately as I was watching this film is it's actually one of the best paced films that I've seen that's above 2 hours and 50 minutes. It really moves. I think it packs a lot into the runtime, but it also gives a lot of things time to breathe, and I don't think anything was too short in the film. And overall, the experience, I think it hits even harder the second time, knowing the thematic depth that the film is striving for. And there's certain revelations in the third act that when you watch it the second time and analyze the film from start to finish, I think you can really see the through line of what Christopher Nolan was going for. Other things that stood out to me in this second viewing was just being able to analyze some of the ensemble cast and some of the smaller roles within the film. There's a lot of controversy about Lupita Nyong'o's character or performance as Helen of Troy. She plays a dual role in this film, and I think she has less than 3 minutes of screen time in this film, but what she's able to achieve in that limited screen time is an example of the exact reason why you cast an actress of her caliber in the role, and I think she delivers, and I think a lot of other actors in these roles deliver in the smaller roles, such as Corey Hawkins and Himesh Patel, who's from EastEnders. If you're British, you understand that. And yeah, I mean, I love the film. The set pieces really work. I think the sequencing of the set pieces and the pacing of them actually works better on a second viewing. There's a lot I love about this film. I've had a blast today watching this film in 70mm IMAX twice. That's a real blessing. It's a day it's one of those cinema days I'm gonna remember. It's a fantastic experience. And I'm actually going to be watching the film for the third time tomorrow, but that would be in regular IMAX back in Bristol. So three times in 2 days, and twice in one 70mm IMAX. Not too shabby. Yeah, that's my thoughts on the Odyssey as of the day of me seeing it for the first time and the second time. I may do another video elaborating on my thoughts and giving a deeper review. Maybe a spoiler review. Let me know in the comment section if you want to see that. And thank you for watching this video. And if you really like this video, hit the like button. That'll help me out and it lets me know that you enjoyed the video. And I'll try and do more videos like this in the future. More vlog style videos. That's kind of what I want to do on this channel, along with some video essays. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. And I've had a great day. Hope you enjoyed watching. Catch you guys soon.